Hello, my name is Samantha, and in this video I'll be demonstrating the emergency settings and procedures on the Zeus IE. An emergency startup should only be performed in the event there is insufficient time to safely perform a system test. Just keep in mind a system test will need to be performed at the next earliest convenience. Manual ventilation and emergency oxygen delivery is possible at all times. To perform an emergency startup, begin by opening the safety oxygen control knob by pushing it in, turning up to your desired flow with the flow indicated on the outside of the knob. Connect your patient up to the breathing circuit. Check your APL valve setting and start manual ventilation. At this point, you can then turn on your device. You can verify your patient's airway pressures at this time against the manual pressure gauge. Your DIVA metering modules are unavailable at this time, therefore anaesthetic agent delivery is not possible. Your device will power up to this screen seen here, which is the system test checklist. To bypass this, select cancel, confirm with the rotary knob. Then you can start in manual spontaneous mode by confirming. Now that you have your electronic fresh gas controls available, you can then deactivate your safety oxygen control. This is done by returning the safety oxygen control knob to the original position. Your DIVA metering modules are also now available, and you can set an anaesthetic agent delivery. As you can see, there are some technical and advisory messages being displayed. The message regarding flow sensor calibration request will be displayed until a system test has been performed. This is when the flow sensors are calibrated. You may also see some technical and advisory messages regarding gas measurement. These will be displayed until the gas bench has warmed and calibrated. In the event of a central power supply failure, the device will automatically switch over to the internal battery. You will no longer see an LED light indicator above the plug power symbol, and you will see the remaining internal battery capacity displayed in the top right-hand corner of the header bar. A fully charged internal battery will maintain operation for a minimum of 30 minutes and up to 90 minutes, depending on ventilation settings. Once the battery capacity reaches below 20%, the alarm priority will increase and become more prominent. The device requires 10 hours of charging for a completely flat battery. Manual ventilation and oxygen delivery is possible during complete power failure. In the event of gas supply failure, an alarm message will appear stating the specific gas that has failed. In this instance, there is central air supply failure and the reserve air cylinder is empty. You'll also see it reflected in the LED light indicators. There is an absence of an LED light above central air, and there is no light above reserve air cylinder. If your central gas supply fails, this will then prompt the user to open up the corresponding reserve gas cylinder. You will be able to verify the remaining capacity on your Zeus screen. Given that there is no air supply, the device will default to 100% oxygen. In the event of oxygen failure, the device will deliver air. DIVA metering modules requires air as a driving gas. So if air becomes unavailable, you will not be able to utilise the DIVA metering modules. There will be an air buffer in the DIVA metering modules to allow volatile agent delivery to continue for a couple of minutes, while the user re-establishes air supply or transitions to intravenous drugs. In the event of a mixer failure, gas delivery and gas mixing will be switched off due to internal device errors. This means that air oxygen or nitrous oxygen gas mixing delivery will be unavailable. The DIVA metering modules will also be unavailable. You will then need to activate your emergency oxygen delivery by pushing in the control knob, dialing up to your desired flow with the flow indicated on the outside, and transitioning to intravenous agents. Ventilation will not be affected. Then, contact your technical service representatives. In the event of a DIVA metering module failure, a message will be displayed on your screen to confirm this. The user will need to switch over to intravenous drugs. Fresh gas delivery and ventilation will not be affected. In the event of a screen malfunction, or there is an error with the display, or the screen fails to recognise input, you will not be able to make adjustments to your ventilation settings. The user will then need to activate the anaesthetic ventilator off control knob. Activating this will switch off the ventilator and electronic gas mixing. To perform this, push in the control knob and turn counterclockwise. You will then need to activate your emergency oxygen delivery by pushing in the control knob and dialing up to your desired flow. Check your APL valve setting, transition to intravenous drugs, and start manual ventilation. For users that still have their screen display available, you can verify your gas measurements, pressure and flow on the screen. If the screen is unavailable, you can verify manual ventilation and the patient's airway pressures against the manual pressure gauge on the device. Then, contact your technical service representative. Auto control cutoff on the Zeus occurs if you are in auto control mode and there is a discrepancy between the two sample gas analyzers. This is commonly due to a leak in the gas sampling line. You can see displayed in the header bar a message confirming auto control cutoff has occurred. The system will automatically switch to fresh gas delivery at 12 litres per minute so that the gas mixer ensures that the set target concentrations for oxygen and agent will be achieved. Ventilation and fresh gas mode are not affected. The user should switch to fresh gas control by opening up the mixed gas settings dialog window, selecting fresh gas control, and verifying your fresh gas settings and your volatile settings. And confirming. Once the user has checked the device for a leak, you can return to auto control. In the event of a ventilator failure, the user will need to switch over to manual spontaneous mode. You will see that CPAP will be unavailable. You will also need to switch to fresh gas control mode. Verify your settings. Then verify your APL valve. Use the oxygen flush to rapidly fill the bag if necessary. Then start manual ventilation and contact your technical service representative. For further information on emergency settings and procedures, please refer to the instructions for use or contact your local Dräger representative.